Hello everyone, what's up? I hope you're all doing really well. Welcome to another video. So today in this video we'll be solving this question called generate parenthesis, and this question is actually very often being asked by Facebook in their technical interview rounds and coding interviews. And this is a medium level problem on LeetCode and one of the better problems to understand the concept of recursion and backtracking. So it's pretty easy once you know the explanation. Let's first go over the problem and then we'll move on to its explanation part as well as writing its code. Okay, so it says that given n pairs of parentheses, write a function to generate all combinations of well-formed parentheses. And by well-formed, they basically mean that the combination should be balanced. So for example, in the sample test case, if they have given n to be 3, then like these are the 5 possible combinations of balanced parentheses that can be created. So we need to return a list of all these strings. Again, if n is 1, then the only pair which is balanced can be this one. So we need to return a string with this particular sequence of brackets. Also, they have mentioned the constraints to be less than 8. So this basically means we can go for something like exponential as well, as this is going to be optimized in terms of time for this particular constraint on the number n. So the question is pretty simple. We just need to generate all the balanced combinations. So let's move on to the explanation part and then we'll write the code. All right, so let's move to the explanation part for this question now. So in this test case, for example, we are given this number n, which is the number of pairs of parentheses that we need to form, balanced pairs. And for this one, the output should be a list of all such parentheses. So for example, this is one balanced parenthesis of 3 pairs of brackets. Then second one is this. This is the third and fourth and fifth. So we need to return this list which contains all these balanced parentheses in the form of strings. So for this one, the first very naive approach can be a brute force way of approaching this, wherein we are going to generate every single parenthesis. So not just the balanced ones, but all the possible parentheses with 3 pairs of brackets. So basically, while we are doing that, we can also have generated some parentheses like this. For example, this is also parenthesis with 3 pairs of brackets, but as you can see, this is completely unbalanced. And we can be generating all such parentheses in that case. So to generate every possible parenthesis, for example, if n is 3, then I'm going to have 2 times n, which is 6 characters in my string for every generation. So for each of those 6 places, basically I'll be having 2 options. That is either to take an opening bracket or a closing bracket. And this option will be possible for each one of those 6 places. So basically this will be 2 times 2 times 2, similarly 6 times, which is n times, which is essentially 2 raised to n. And this 2 raised to n is only the time to be able to generate every single parenthesis. But after generation, we will also need to check which of these are balanced. So if these are the number of different combinations I have, then for each of those, I will need to verify or validate their balancing property. And we know balancing a given sequence of brackets can be done using stack. There's a very optimal method for that. But then for these many number of combinations, the brute force approach is going to give me a total time of 2 raised to n. So this 2 raised to n comes from generation of all combinations, and then since I'll need to check them, so that is how the total time will be 2 raised to n. And space again will be the same. Why? Because basically while we are generating these 2 raised to n parentheses, the approach would be recursion and backtracking, and recursive call stack is again going to have those many recursive calls or call stack frames. So this is the same space that we'll be requiring. And then also for checking those 2 raised to n combinations, we are again going to use a stack, which is also going to take extra space. So basically 2 raised to n is going to be the time and space for my naive approach. And this is of course very expensive in terms of time and space, and definitely not an optimal approach. So now let's discuss the more optimized version. So now when we're discussing the optimized approach for this question, again we can see that for every combination we'll have a particular character, and for that character we can have 2 options, which is basically an opening bracket or a closing bracket. But earlier what we were doing was we were generating every single combination, not necessarily worrying about whether the combination will be balanced or not. But what if we only generate the balanced ones while we are generating them? So we can have some logic to make a check whether we are trying to generate an unbalanced combination or not. And for that also, we are again going to use the same approach of recursion as well as backtracking. But now in this case, whenever we try to generate an unbalanced combination, we are immediately going to backtrack and only generate the next possible balanced combination. So how we are going to do that is basically we can have a resulting string, and this will be empty in the beginning. And now we are going to keep track of the number of opening and closing brackets that we have already chosen. So since n is 3 in this case, we are obviously going to have 2 times the total number of characters. This is basically 2n, and we are going to have n opening brackets and n closing brackets. So n closing and n opening brackets. This is for sure in every balanced combination. And we also know that the criteria for having a balanced combination is that an opening bracket should always come before a closing bracket, because if we have used a similar number of opening and closing brackets, then a new closing bracket cannot come before an opening bracket, because this thing is going to make it unbalanced. So these are the only things we need to keep in mind, and then we can probably generate the balance sequences only. So what we'll do is for every recursive call to a function, we'll pass these parameters: the number of opening brackets used, the number of closing brackets used, then our current string, whatever the balance string is, and also our list in which we are going to store the balance sequences when they get completed. Also, we can have another parameter as the total number of characters in the string, which is 2 times n. So this all information should be pretty much enough to generate all the balance parentheses. For the start of our first recursive call, we'll have the string passed as empty. Total number of characters in our balance sequence will be 6, which is 2 times n, and n is 3 for this case. Opening brackets will be 0, closing will be 0, and we'll also have a list which is going to be empty in the beginning. And we need to make sure that we are making a recursive call for an opening bracket only when the opening brackets used are less than total over 2. So total we know is 6, so we can only have 3 opening brackets at max. So if we've already added 3, we cannot add another opening bracket. And we can only make a recursive call for adding a closing bracket if the closing brackets used are less than the opening brackets, because if they are equal, then we cannot have a closing bracket added before adding an opening bracket, because that is going to make it unbalanced. So these are the two criteria that we need to make sure for every recursive call. And whenever the total brackets added become equal to this number, we know that a valid sequence has been created, and we can simply push it to this list and return from the recursive call. For our first one, we are going to make a call by adding an opening bracket, so our string will become this. Then we'll have opening brackets as 1, closing as 0. And then since opening brackets are still less than t over 2, we can add another opening bracket, so that is going to give us something like this. And since closing braces are less than opening, so we can add a closing as well, so that will give us something like this. So here we'll have opening as 1, closing as 1, and here also we'll have opening as 2 and closing as 0. Now from here again we can add another opening bracket, so opening will be 3 and closing will be 0, and we can add a closing here as well, so this will be something like this. So opening will be 2 and closing will be 1. Now from this call, we cannot add another opening bracket because we've already added n, which is 3 brackets. So we can only add closing brackets now. And to add a closing bracket, I can simply add another one here. So that is going to give me this, because closing are less than opening. So opening will be 3, closing will be 1. Then again for this one, another one can be added. So that's going to give me something like this. So here also opening will be 3 and closing will be 2. And from here again another one can be added because closing are still less than opening. So this is going to give me a string like this, and opening will be 3 and closing will be 3. So as soon as I find that the total characters used are equal to 2n, so I can add this string to my list of answers, and this is the first one that we have generated. Now again, if I go back from this one, we can also have another opening added because opening are still less than 3. So if we add another opening, this is going to give me something like this, and then here opening will be 3 and closing will be 1. And now from this one, we cannot add another opening brace because already 3 have been added. We can only add closing ones. So we may add a closing to make it something like this. So here opening will be 3 and closing will be 2. And now from here again, since closing is less than opening, we can add another one. So this is going to give me something like this, which is opening 3 and closing 3, and all 2n brackets have been added. So this is another answer that we've generated, which we'll add to our list of answers. Now when it recurses back to its original parent call, from here we could have also added a closing because closing are still less than opening. So if we add a closing, this is going to be something like this, and here opening is 2 and closing is 2. Now from this, since opening is less than 3, we can add another one. So that is going to give me something like this, and here opening is 3, closing is 2. And from here, another opening cannot be added because it's already 3, but closing is less than opening, so we can add another one. So this is going to give me something like this, which is opening 3 and closing also 3. So this is another sequence that we have generated, which is the balanced one. And now the function recurses back and reaches this parent call. So from here again, we can make a call to opening because it's less than 3. So if we add another opening brace, this is going to give me something like this, where opening will be 2 and closing will still be 1. Then from this one again, opening is less than 3, we can add another one. So this is going to give me something like this. So opening is 3 and closing is 1. Now since opening is 3, we cannot add another one, but closing is less than opening, so we can add another closing brace. So this is going to give me something like this. And for this one, opening is 3 and closing is 2. Now since closing is still less than opening, we can add another closing brace. So that is going to make it something like this, where opening becomes 3 and closing brackets also become 3. So this is another valid sequence that we have generated, which we'll add to our list. Similarly for this one, we could have made another recursive call where we add a closing bracket because it's less than opening right now. So this is going to give me something like this, where opening is 2 and closing is 2. And then from this one, since opening is less than 3, we can add another opening brace. So this is going to be something like this, and opening is 3 and closing is 2. We cannot add a closing bracket here because it's not less than opening, but now we can. So this is going to give me something like another balanced pair. So here also opening will be 3 and closing will be 3. So this is going to be another answer that we have. And once all these recursive calls are done, so we are going to have generated all the valid sequences of brackets for which basically this list would have been generated. And once we added all these sequences, we are going to return from the recursive call, and this list can be returned to the caller function. So this is actually what our approach is going to be like, where we only generated the ones which are always going to be valid because of this criteria, these two criteria that we are keeping a track of. Now for this case, to talk about the complexities. So the time complexity for this one, it's actually tough to determine because there's an entire mathematical proof behind understanding the actual complexity, and the complexity for this one resides on something known as Catalan numbers in mathematics. So there's a series of numbers called Catalan numbers, and its complexity is based on that number. So it's tough to exactly determine, but we can be certain that it's definitely going to be exponential. So we can have something like big O of 2 raised to n. It is not exactly 2 raised to n, but it is definitely exponential in terms of time, since the recursive calls are going to be made for every particular character. There are two options that we have. And similarly, if you talk about the space, so we are not using any auxiliary containers here, but then each of these recursive calls are going to take up some space in the call stack as recursive frames. So since there can be these many recursive calls, so similarly our space is also going to be exponential. And keep in mind that both of these are not the actual space and time complexities, but they just kind of give you an idea of what the complexity is going to be like, because space and time both will be exponential for this case. And this is going to be the most optimized approach that we have for this question. Also, in the question given on LeetCode, this value n has been told to be less than 8 only. So any exponential complexity will also be an optimal approach for this question. So yeah, that's pretty much it about the explanation. And now let's quickly move on to writing the code for this one. Okay, so let's move on to writing the program for this one. We have this function called generate parenthesis, which accepts an integer n, and n is basically the number of pairs that are possible in the sequence, and we need to return a vector of strings. So strings will be every such balanced sequence of parentheses. That is what we want to return from this particular function. So as we discussed, this is going to be done by something like recursion and backtracking, so we'll need a recursive function for that. So let me just quickly create another recursive function called helper. This is going to be my recursive function, and helper it's going to be void because this is just going to fill in the balance brackets into a vector that I will create inside this function. So let's say we have something like a vector of string. This is going to be my result. This is what I'll return, and then at the end I'll write something like return result. So this is what I'll be returning, and this function is going to help me fill this result with all the balanced sequences. So this function, as we discussed, needs to accept the total number of total brackets that we'll be having, then open brackets, number of open brackets, similarly number of close brackets, and then we will also need basically a string. So this string will be current sequence. Let's just call it current sequence. And finally, what we'll return is this vector. So the vector will be a vector of strings, and I'll pass it by reference because I'll need to add these strings onto the same vector. So let me just call it result. Now this is all the parameters that we need for this recursive function. So the first thing we can have is something like a base case where this recursive call exists. So if basically the size of my current sequence, if this thing is equal to the total number of brackets that I can have, so basically this means that I have formed another new balanced sequence, and this is where I will add the sequence to my list of balanced sequence. So I can simply say result dot push back this particular sequence, so my current sequence. So this means another new valid sequence has been found, and we have added that. Now we don't need to make any recursive calls because no more brackets can be added, so I can simply return from the recursive function. And if this condition is not true, then we will simply move on to our other recursive cases instead of the base cases. So for that, we have two recursive conditions or criteria that we need to follow, as we discussed. So first is if open brackets are less than total brackets over 2. So this basically means there is a chance to add another opening bracket to my current string. So I can simply do that by calling this function again with total number of brackets will be the same parameter. Then I'll add one more opening bracket, so I can increase this number by 1. Closing bracket will remain the same since I'm only adding an opening bracket, and whatever my current sequence is, so in that current sequence I'll simply append another opening bracket, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, I'll have to pass on result to add this sequence to the vector finally when this is done. So once I'm done with this, that's pretty much it. The only other condition I need to follow is for closing brackets, and as we discussed, closing brackets can only be added when they are less than opening brackets, otherwise this will become unbalanced. So if this condition is also valid, I can again recursively call on my helper function with the total brackets remaining the same since that will not change, and also open brackets will also remain the same since I'm not adding any of those, but I'm adding another closing bracket, so I need to add 1 to this value, and my current sequence will be modified since I'll be appending another closing brace to this one, and similarly my result will remain the same. So this is pretty much it. I have handled all my cases. Now let's quickly move on to calling this function. So I can simply call this for the very first time, where I will pass my total brackets as twice the number of pairs that I need to form. So if n is 3, my string will have total of 2n, which is 6 pairs, 6 brackets, and then opening bracket initially will be 0, closing will also be 0 in the beginning. My string in the beginning will be empty as we discussed, and result I've already created, which is empty for now. But whenever this function reaches this point, it will add another bracket to my result since this was being passed by reference. And when I'm done with all the recursive calls, and when this comes back from this point, result will be filled with all the valid sequences, and I can simply return the result from this case, which will be a list of all my valid sequence or valid brackets. So yeah, I think this should be it. Let's try to run this to check if there are any errors or something. Okay, this should be open brackets. I'm sorry. So yeah, this is working for my sample test case. Let me submit this to check if this is getting accepted or not. And yeah, it's getting accepted, and it's pretty fast in terms of runtime, and this is the most optimized solution that you can have for this question. This only can be solved in the optimized manner using recursion and backtracking. So yeah, that was it for this particular question. I hope you liked it and understood the explanation. And if you like such videos, do hit the like button for some support and share it with your friends. Also, you may subscribe to the channel for such content if you're appreciating this, and this will definitely help the reach of this channel. So thank you so much for watching the video. If you have any suggestions, put them down on the comment box and I'll go through them. And yeah, I'll see you very soon with the next question.